I'm CK. I haven't done any hand surface mount in a while, so I picked up a beginner happy face surface mount kit from Whadda. It's a level, what is that, level 3, because it's surface mount, but it looks pretty straightforward. We'll put it together, get our surface mount technique in order, and I hope you have a good time watching the video. Typical Whadda box, overwrap over a standard brown box so they don't have to use all that many boxes. Looks like, where's my pointy thing? There it is. Got some resistors for current limiting on the LEDs, and then we've got LEDs, 2 transistors and some LEDs, and it looks like we've got little whiskers on there. Maybe they're making a cat SMD. I'll ask my cats if it's authentic. And then the QR code for the manual or whatever. See what's inside. Pretty much not much. Here's the paper describing how to do surface mount. It's pretty much exactly the same technique I use and talk about, so we'll talk about it. Put the resistors on, 2 transistors, LEDs, 2 electrolytic caps, a battery case, and a good schematic. Well, that's awful nice of it, isn't it? Let's look at the bits and pieces itself. First, we'll get the box ready for recycling. And see if I can open this up like a human being instead of having to cut it, and I did. Battery case for a 2032, I'm going to assume. Then we've got, you dump all this stuff out. We've got the circuit board, and as you can imagine, it's only got one, it's got 2 through-hole parts. Oh, that's for the battery. Go on like that. And then we've got the 4.7. No, that's 47K. Is that 47K? I mean, it says 473, so that should be 47K. Yes, it is 47K. And then we've got 101s, so that's 101, so that's 100 ohm. Then we've got the electrolytics, and I only see red LED. I don't see all the parts. Where are the other parts? Okay, there's some more parts. Oh, I see. So here's the transistors. I thought there were, let me pick this up. I thought there were LEDs, 2 LEDs here, but it's just a resistor, a cap, resistor, and a cap to set up the oscillating circuit that these transistors are going to do to blink the eyes. So that's all the bits and pieces, even though one thing you may be able to notice here, probably not, because I'm not zoomed in enough. There's a little raggediness from where they broke this off from the master board that they built it with, so I'll grab some sandpaper, just take those rough edges off. You obviously don't have to do that, but I'm gonna do it because I don't like rough edges on my projects. Okay, I'll get the soldering iron heated up, get my surface mount tools ready, and we'll put this fella together. Ready to go, and I'm all zoomed in on the top camera. And one thing I usually use is solder from MG Chemical. It's 0.025 diameter, but I saw and I bought some of this. Let me get it out. This is from Chip Quick, who makes the flux I usually use, and this is 0.020, so it's 5/1000ths of an inch narrow or smaller in diameter. We'll see if I like it better or not. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell the difference between 5/1000ths, but... And for placement, I've got my bent tweezers. So let's see, let's start with the resistors. We're going to do R1 and R2, which are up here first, and they are the 100K ones, the 101s. Making sure I'm getting the right ones. And they gave us 3 instead of 2, which is nice. So in case one escapes your workbench and falls on the floor, and you never are able to find it ever again, you have a spare. So that's nice. I'm dumping them into one of my parts bins so I don't lose them. Now what we're going to start with is we're going to do what we all typically do. Actually, I'm going to do, he says do the resistors first. Oh, I'll go ahead and do it the way they want. So I'll tin one pad on each. Now pick up one of the resistors. Again, I'm going to have the numbers up. You don't have to. Electrically, it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reheat that solder I just put on there, slide this resistor into it, and there, as you can see, it's perfectly in place and connected. Really a simple little move. Just heat that solder up again, slide the resistor on there, and it's attached on both sides. So we'll just use our, oops, I may have gone a little bit too far on that one. I'm going to do this one right now, the other end of this one right now, just like so. And once that cools, I'm going to touch up this side a little bit just to be sure I've got good conductivity. And this, I don't like my positioning. I slid it a little bit too far. So I'm going to heat it up again. And slide it back just a fraction of an inch, maybe 1 millimeter. And do the same thing on that one. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to tin all the places I'm going to put the other, so the LEDs, these are 3-pin LEDs, which makes it a little easier. You don't have to worry about where the cathode is. So I'm going to be tinning these all up so I can just be rapid fire. That'll be this other resistor. This will be the capacitor, the other capacitor, and the other resistor. Going to give a little more there. And again, I have one extra 1K resistor. I mean, not 1K, 47K. What am I saying? You take the LEDs out of their container. And yes, it is somewhat of a pain to get these out of their packaging, but that's because the packaging is designed for machines. It's not designed for you and me to use. So the machines are laughing at me, saying, dude, you're complaining, but we find it really easy. Okay, let's see what I've got. Gotta get my... So these, again, are 3-pin. And I got it reversed. Oh no, I don't. Golly. And I was squeezing my tweezers too hard so the LED jumped out of my hand, or jumped out. And same thing. We're just gonna, I hope I'm not getting my head in the shot. Now I'm not using any flux this time because I'm not doing any ICs. ICs with the pins close together, I generally do that. Now I did just get that on crooked, and I don't want it to be crooked. So just heat that up again. My light is glaring, unfortunately. Golly, I really am. I am going to have to get my head in the shot so I can look straight down on this. There, that one's on. Let me get the other one on. That one's on. Now we'll do the other 2 pins on each of these. And if you're wondering about my hand shaking a little bit today, I did 6 hours of Elden Ring on my Xbox yesterday, and my forearms got wore out. So I'm a little shaky doing fine mechanical movements because I was busy beating bosses. I think that's good. And that one should be good. I'm going to eyeball it. That one could be touched up a little bit more. Okay, those should be dandy. Again, I'm going to pick it up and eyeball it again. I think we're good there. Now, dump that out so we can put it in our spare parts. Now we'll do the other 2 resistors. We do the other sides of those. Now we'll do the capacitors. Now capacitors, for some unknown reason, surface mount capacitors are not marked with their values. I've never really understood that, and I've never bothered to look it up either, because it seems like they should be able to mark them the same as they mark resistors, but they don't. Now these are not polarized. Oh, they are polarized. So on the resistor pad, on the capacitor pads, I'm trying to see. So the beveled end is going to go positive, and positive is the end that's got a little bevel on the circuit board trace print, but I globbed on the solder there, so we'll see whether this actually works. I think I've got it the right way. Oh, these are marked, actually. The marking's very tiny. There's a little bit of speck on the bottom that's keeping it from going flat. No, that's on the board here. Hold on, I gotta clean this little speck of stuff off because it's keeping the capacitor from going flat. Those are on firmly enough. Do the other side, and again, I'm hoping I got the capacitors right. I believe I did. If not, surface mount's pretty easy to disassemble. I'm going to check this. Yep, those look good. Last thing, or second to last thing, is to put the two transistors on. Where did I put the... Where did the transistors go? Hold on, I think I might have thrown the transistors out. I'm going to pause the cameras for a minute. Transistors hadn't actually fallen in the garbage, they had fallen next to the garbage. So, what we're going to do, and these transistors are labeled, I'm going to do, squeezed a little too hard. You have to learn how much squeeze you need on your tweezers to hold the transistor without having it spring out of your hands. Let me double check that one. Yeah, that looks good. Chasing it all around. Come on, little buddy. Oh, turn it around the other way. Rotate 180 degrees, little transistor. Help me out here. I think that's good. Now, same thing, we'll do the other legs. Let me double check the placement of those. I think they're good. Now we'll put the battery box on the back, and even though it's not marked plus or minus, there's only really one way you can put it on, because if you put it on the other way, so the plus sign goes towards the bottom. I'm going to verify that here. It should say. Oh, that's not useful. I think I've got it backwards because you want to get it completely contained. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Now it may be slightly out of focus because I didn't refocus for this. Okay. Okay. Now I am going to refocus. So there's a little happy face. Let me turn this light off. Put in one of my rechargeable 2032s for the shop. and nothing happens. I'm going to check the voltage on the capacitors. I'm going to check the voltage on everything, actually. If I could get my leads sorted out. Getting some power there, though not a... There we go. Oh, something's not... Huh. So something's not completely soldered. I think it's this pin here. I'll solder it hot. I mean, I'll solder it with power on, which is always an exciting thing, isn't it? Yeah, that one hadn't gotten fully soldered. So there we go. Blinky, blinky, blinky. Going awful fast. We could change the resistor values to, or the capacitor values to change the blink rate, but we're not gonna. But that's it. As you saw, it's pretty straightforward to do this type of surface mount for resistors, capacitors, transistors, and LEDs. When you get into integrated circuits with the multi-pin, 16 or 24 pins, it can be a little more of a challenge. I've got some other videos on the channel that show how to do that, and I'll try and find another one to do another more recent one here in the next couple of weeks. So that's it. Fun little kit, went together fast, but it's good surface mount practice. And I hope you enjoyed the video.